In Brusly, welcome to the Monday edition of Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Charles Sandegrift, Jimmy Ott, Max Gotro here with us. Jordan Kitchens in the studio. Man, when you got a weekend where the Saints move on from the quarterback, LSU baseball is number one in the country, consensus in all the polls that have been released so far, and you come on to the West Side, and those are the second and third biggest stories because John Foster is the story over here on the West Side, man. American Idol, huh?
Top five.
This is Max Gotro country, man. You got to know this.
I mean, Charlie, you saw all the signs probably when you
Yeah,
drove all down Highway 1.
Makeshift signs put up on LA 1 here, and
Big time. A lot of people that were there, in LA last night. Back on tonight. Big voting. So go out, vote. 13 in the text chain, but AmericanIdol.com/vote.
First time in my life last night I ever voted on American Idol. My wife said,
"Oh, you did?"
My wife was watching. She says, "Look, you have to go." And the Pacers game was a blowout. And I'm like, "Well, let me watch." And he was great. And she says, "Now take your phone out and do this." So I did because, hey, I want him to win.
You can vote 30 times if you want to. So please do that.
Tonight they go from 5 to 3. And if he makes that, then they're going to be here on
I believe
Wednesday.
I'll check on
at
that.
us.
But, it would be a big deal.
Good luck to that young man. He's done a great job, been a great representative, and I watched him perform last night. I'd seen the clips before, but it's the first time I watched him live, and he was great.
Don't you think he gets a little bit more juice from the crowd? Don't you hear a little bit extra that he's getting from the crowd reaction? I do.
I know what. I didn't watch the rest of it.
I don't know if he's got home cooking. I don't know if he's, they kind of,
he connects with the audience big time. I know that.
But I'm just saying he's getting more. They're getting a little bit more excited when they cheering for him.
Yeah,
so, the Pacers did this to us. I mean, bro, this kid. Thank God this kid's singing last night because 40-point game.
Yeah, I don't need to watch basketball anymore.
No, it's over 40 at half.
Yeah.
Like a playoff game against the number one seed.
Just pillar to post. They went.
Because the minus 250 favorite offshore got knocked out last night.
Max is following the American Idol.
The kid from Addis, the underground line has his over under right at 2. They're not getting off of 2. They're not going to 1.5. They think that's too.
So this is going to be
high.
Close tonight.
2.5. They think they feel really strong. He's going to get in that final 2, but no, 2 is right. It's minus 130 to the under. I'm taking him tonight.
Okay, yeah, there was a bit of a shocker yesterday. One of those that did not make the top 5 was a little surprising, but we're through. And
who's minus 250 at the Elite 8? Who's minus 250, and the rest are plus 300 or higher?
South Carolina women basketball.
Not this year.
Not this. No, one of those past years. UConn women in some of those past years, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe last year.
Yeah.
Last year, not the 2024 South Carolina, maybe so.
Yeah.
They were still close to even money. I don't think they were ever minus 250 because you had the Caitlin Clark money.
Okay. One of those dominant women's basketball teams from either South Carolina or UConn.
But I bet them mid-season when they beat LSU in Baton Rouge. And I'm and just saw how they were just so much better shooting team than they were that team that bricked it against Iowa and lost. It had so many more shots. So I had it at even money. So deeper into terms, they might have been minus 250 when they got to the Elite 8 or somewhere in that area.
They were
that's
big,
fair.
Big favorites. So we're pulling for John.
So then you knock them out. So who's this kid? Is this kid if Iowa got beaten in the quarterfinals last year?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Or UConn that brought him. Is your Max are you Iowa or
Max is following the offshore book on
hopefully
this.
Just the champion. Hopefully that whatever one wins.
He's got a shot, huh?
Oh,
real shot.
Real
shot.
And by the way, while we're here in Walkons and Brusly, the boys track team won state this weekend.
4A, huh?
Okay.
And the baseball team is in the final. They're going to Sulphur. So really good time right now at Brusly.
Welcome to the West. We scheduled it here today just on purpose. All right, LSU baseball, number 1 in Baseball America, D1 baseball, in perfect game that have all been released today.
What's the fuss about? Everything's fine.
Everything is fine. That's what I'm about to tell you. 1:17 in the morning seems to be a good number for LSU. They walk it off in Friday night's game, 5-4, the game that started 5 minutes before the deadline to start it. Ethan Fry with an RBI sacrifice fly to win that game. Arkansas gets LSU run rules at Arkansas on Saturday, 13-3, and then yesterday dropped a 7-4 game to finish the series. I'm gonna get into baseball later on in this show, but everybody wants to talk about where they are. So, number 1 in the country is great. Number 7 RPI, which is fine. LSU's in 3rd place in the SEC. They've won 6 out of the 9 series. They have series wins over Arkansas, who is number 2 in the country. This is RPI rankings. Alabama, who's 8. Tennessee, who's 15. Their number of Q1 wins is 4th in the country. They've got wins against Oklahoma, who's 26, and Mississippi State, who's 32. The strength of schedule is 25. They are fine. Are they a lock to be a top 8 national seed? They would have to go to South Carolina and get swept, in my opinion, to not be. If that unlikely event happened, they might be in a little bit of trouble. But as long as they go to South Carolina and are reasonable,
nobody with that kind of odds, underdog would ever get swept, Charlie.
No, it never happens in baseball. I'm going to get to that in a second. But South Carolina's about as rough a shape as you can get. The RPI is down to 74. They are 1-8 in SEC series. They got a series against Ole Miss, and that's the only one they've gotten. They've been swept 5 times, including the last 2, and it's been ugly. The 3 games against Auburn, they lost a combined 46-15. Against Florida, 39-8. They won 1 against Kentucky. The other 2 games, they were beaten by a score of 18-8. Even their midweek games have been a struggle. A 2-run win against Charleston Southern, a 10-inning win against North Florida, 4-0 win against the Citadel. They are playing at the moment worse baseball than Missouri, which is very difficult to fathom. So outside of maybe having them in Baton Rouge, this is about as good a draw as you can get. So LSU for a top 8 national seed almost can't miss. And if they are in Baton Rouge, where they are 30-5 on the season, and they have beaten very good teams, and the top 2 guys at the top of the rotation are fantastic, you're going to be really hard pressed to come into that building and beat LSU twice. So, like you said, Jimmy, everything's good. I got a lot more to say about it, but yes, right now everything is good.
It's how college baseball is, and it's a little bit more like college football and college basketball as far as the emotional letdowns, the emotional spots, situational handicapping, if you will, has really been pretty damn accurate. And the emotional wins, and Texas beating Texas A&M, all 3 one-run games. They go to Arkansas and get hammered. I mean, Arkansas, that is their peak spot. They hate Texas. They came in all the polls number 1, and they just hammered them. What do? They go to Baton Rouge and they get hammered. And so, although could it be their 1997 lose on Saturday 28-2 and come back and win on Sunday late in the season, and kind of it's just a real kind of an important game, I think, for the Arkansas Razorbacks yesterday to kind of get off the mat and salvage one game. But the situational spots in the home road splits, home field is matter. It's always mattered, but usually not as much as the other sports. It has. And the other thing is, do we need any more proof with one conference series left in the schedule that this thing is wide open?
Yes.
Do we need to go? Texas A&M went to Fayetteville. Arkansas's record at home outside of the A&M series,
30-3.
30-3, and it was two out of 3. 2 of the 3 they lost to A&M.
Yeah, I think that's right.
A&M, was really, really hot, and they get they don't lose. They kind of get hammered by Missouri at home. The last 2 games were just
they did.
And they gave up the 6-run ninth to lose 9-6 on Friday, but it's 0-24. It's 0-24, and that is going to be damaging to this. I don't know what kind of contract the first year coach that Schloss's replacement has, but him and him and Paul Maneri at South Carolina are going to be very interesting.
Who helped themselves and who hurt themselves? A&M can retire the category. I mean, they get swept by a winless team by a combined score of 23-8. They damn near got run ruled yesterday. The RPI falls from 35 to 59. They're now 10-17 in the league, and they're at Georgia this weekend. Even a sweep there wouldn't erase the stink of this Missouri series. I think that Michael Early is in very, very serious trouble because they are out of the tournament barring a miracle run. And this is a team that's got wins against Texas, Arkansas, and LSU, series wins. But after those first 3 innings, Jimmy, they scored 6 runs in the first 3 innings on Friday night. After that, they went 6 for 73 at the plate with 26 strikeouts. They got 2 hits in each of the last 2 games.
Yeah, they really responded by losing the game in the 9th inning, a 3-run lead in 9th inning, and really got after it and grinded, huh?
I mean, they absolutely nailed it in, and there was a lot of pressure by the players to keep Early there. I'm not going to tell you he's going to get fired, but I wouldn't be at all surprised. I know the buyout is not prohibitive there. Who else hurt themselves over the weekend? Oklahoma didn't do themselves any favors. They got swept against Kentucky. They're still in, but they had an outside shot to host if they'd had a good couple of last weekends. That's off the table now. They'll be a scary 2 seed, RPI 26. Tennessee, they did what Tennessee's been doing lately. They've lost now 4 straight series and 5 out of 6, and then they got a fight at the end of the game. Well, a little skirmish, if you will. They are 15-12, and they are at Arkansas next week. Amazingly, they've still got a chance to host. They're an RPI 15. They've got series wins against Arkansas and Florida, so they've got a shot. But they've got a really, really tough go there at Baum. Florida helped themselves. They took 2 of 3 from Texas. They now have series wins against number 1 Texas, number 2 Arkansas. Last 3 weeks, they've won 7 out of 9. They were 11-14 going into Austin. They couldn't get swept. They put themselves in position. They are safely in the NCAA tournament now. If they won the SEC, their RPI is 13. If they win all the way in the SEC tournament, they might even be in line to host. But they are safely in the tournament, probably as a 2 seed. Vandy helped themselves. They took 2 out of 3 against Tennessee. They're tied for 4th in the league. Their RPI is 3. They finish at home against Kentucky. They are in line for a top 8 national seed as well, where the SEC looks like they can get maybe as many as 6, but probably closer to probably 5 is the number I'm letting on. I'll get you some RPI stuff on some of the other conferences later on.
I mean, everybody's beating each other up minus, it's just Tennessee. It's real. Championship hangover is in effect. You can't lose 2 out of 3 at home, your last conference series against Vandy, and especially after you win game 1. They don't deserve and they're still like second or third choice to win it all. I mean, or the odds makers, and there's a lot of college baseball that people bet branding, and that's it. Well, Tennessee's great. LSU's great. No, but you got these teams at the top of the odds board are so they've got some flaws. I mean, they're not as deep, they're not as strong, they're not as consistent as we're used to seeing. Because there's usually a wider gap between the elite teams and the others, and there isn't.
And
Clemson got beat again at home, 2 out of 3 against Duke. You know what I mean? Georgia went on the road and lost 2 out of 3 to Alabama. The number 1 RPI in the country.
Yeah, so Clemson's lost 3 straight series, and despite an RPI that's in the top 16, they're in 7th place in the ACC. 7th place. So you can't. I mean, I get it. There's a balance between conference record and RPI, but Clemson's in 7th place.
Out now?
What's that?
A&M was out.
Absolutely. Yeah. If they went, they play Texas this weekend. They get 3 there. They'll put themselves. I'm sorry, Georgia. They'll put themselves back in the conversation. But I don't see them.
Auburn is one of those teams that's way down the odds board, like 80-1 or something. That's taking care of business.
Auburn right now is in great shape to be a top 8 national seed. The RPI is 2. They're 16-11 in the league. They finish up this weekend with 3 games against Ole Miss, who's okay, but nothing, outlandish. They get 2 games this week. They're going to be in decent shape to be a top 8 national seed.
You said the Saints moved on from a quarterback?
Yeah.
I thought the quarterback moved on himself.
little bit of both, I think.
A little bit of both?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
I would say
listened
that
to spread quarters with Mayo, and there was no doubt. It was all, hey man, let's be fair here. Big thank you to Derek Carr for helping us out. It was very, very, very appreciative tone toward Derek Carr.
I was going to say, I see it. I didn't hear the show, but I see it a little bit different.
Who was most responsible for this move? It's Derek Carr. He turned down $30 million, right?
Yes and no. The Saints would have gone after him for that money. Okay. They would have filed they would have filed a grievance with the union. They would have gone back after the bonus money. Yeah, he might have got it. They decided to split. Did he just voluntarily give back $30 million free and in the clear? No, I would say no. Did he make it easier? Yes.
You really okay. All right.
He made it easier.
You bet on that. Yeah.
He made it easier.
He did it.
If he did it. If he says put me on injured reserve and I'm done for the year,
he's got a legitimate injury.
But he didn't tell
through football.
He didn't tell the Saints about it. He didn't tell them about it. They were going to trust me when I tell you they were going back after that money. Now, whether they got it or not, I don't know.
Okay.
They made it easier.
What's the track record on these legalities, these legal bouts, huh?
Oh, it's pretty good in the favor of the league. The Saints, they got back money from Ricky Williams when he went spoke dope with Lenny Kravitz.
This is a little different. He was hurt playing football.
And
he was hurt on the job.
And you are required to inform your club about it.
He's not violating team policy, league policy.
Actually, he is. If he didn't inform them about it. He wasn't at the facility working out. He wasn't rehabbing. You saw. I think this explains why the Saints never said anything. So
when he was hurt, the Saints training medical staff didn't check him out themselves.
That's a reasonable question, and there's a lot that we don't know. They also would have gone back.
Usually handle things.
They would have gone back after that bonus money.
Saints medical staff has a damn good track record. So yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. Well, no, they don't.
Oh.
Listen, did Derek Carr make it easier? Yes. Was it absolutely assured that he was going to just walk?
So where's the narrative come from? Well, like, he gave up $30 million. He could have just sat on the bench here and he could have collected his money.
The Saints would have gone after the money. He might have gotten it. He might have not have. Yeah. He might have not have. We're here at Walkons in Brusly on the west side, John Foster country.
Max, is a watch party over here tonight?
There should be.
Oh, we should have it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll probably be here, honestly.
I would think so, man. And the great thing about it, we got the garage style doors open today. And what about the weather we got in the middle of May? How about that? You talk about a blessing, huh? That just doesn't happen. That weather was great. It's really fine again today. You can start getting a little bit warmer, but man, it's good enough to roll up these the garage style doors and kind of indoor, outdoor, a partial. You covered patio area, but then you got the outside as well. Plenty of TVs outside the cornhole area, but just it flows, man. Indoor, outdoor, it kind of take advantage of this last little kind of mild weather that we're having, unseasonably mild weather. We got the 5 new menu items with the Havarti turkey burger and the warm turkey melt and all the great stuff, the boudin, pepper jack, boudin balls. So a little bit of everything over here. And the salmon as well is a really good new menu item as well. In addition to all of our traditional menu items over here at Walk-Ons. We don't play.
Live at Walk-Ons in Brusly, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes.
Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. Louisiana based since 1908 for all your business and personal banking solutions for any needs. Check out the local bankers ready to help you meet your financial goals with competitive rates, great annual percentage yields, and low minimum balances. Talk to one of the local bankers at any Baton Rouge location, Corporate, Sherwood Forest, Longform Village, and Bluebonnet. You'll also find Home Bank locations in Acadiana, New Orleans, the North Shore, Natchez, and Houston. Visit home24bank.com for more information. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Bayou Ford powers the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch us live daily. Find what you missed on demand and subscribe to each show's channel to get notified when we go live or new videos arrive. Plus, discover exclusive YouTube broadcasts you can't find anywhere else. From AFR to OTB and everything in between. It's the Watch 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel powered by Bayou Ford.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Sometimes it's so hard to find someone to do home repair, odd jobs due to storm damage, or just regular wear and tear over time to your home. Do like I did and call Clean Sweep Restoration and Demolition. Roofing, flooring, debris removal, electric, sheetrock, painting, and much more. Pretty much whatever home maintenance you need, Clean Sweep can handle it. Call Pat Green at 300-7064 for a free no-obligation estimate. Fully licensed and insured, reasonably priced, and for over 20 years in the greater Baton Rouge area. Clean Sweep Restoration and Demolition, 300-7064.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Walkons and Brusly on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Brought to you in part by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain. Dr. Michael Goff and his staff done a great job for us over the years. Whether you got back pain, neck soreness, things that are keeping you from getting around like you'd like, or maybe preventing you from getting a good night's sleep, let them tailor make a program that's going to work for you and target those problem areas, whether it be a dry needle, electric nerve stimulation, cryo, ultrasound therapy, or just a serious exercise and stretches that'll get you to feeling better. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway near Drusilla, Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. So we continue the conversation into the break, Jimmy. I give Derek Carr credit for making this very easy. Okay. He retired. There is money coming back to the Saints in the form of salary cap. And this nips in the bud what could have been a really ugly, long drawn out situation. And yes, he's probably leaving some money on the table. But do I believe the Saints would have gone back after this? Yes, I do believe they would have gone back after a lot of this money. And I don't know what would have happened if they would have filed a grievance with the union. You make a good point about, did the Saints medical staff check him out, and what did they find out? And then after the season, when Carr is not in the facility, what is his responsibility to the club? This was a win-win, okay? Carr gets the $10 million that he got in the contract restructure. The Saints don't go back after that or any of the other bonus money. You take it and walk. I mean, this is one of those divorce days. Like, you take what you had before the marriage, I'll take what I had before the marriage, and we'll split, and we're not going to sit here and argue over the silverware. So I give him credit for that. But I believe the Saints would have gone back after the money. I don't know how much they would have gotten. That's my take on it.
And that's your take, and that's at best as far as the Saints situation. That's at best they had a chance. I think it an uphill battle, and I think it's they ain't nobody that cheers for the Saints giving Derek Carr any benefit of the doubt on anything. They had enough of him. They hate him. The venom is just Charlie. I'm telling you, Saints fans. It's like whether it's social media, whether it's on Mayo's little impromptu deal. It's an octave below winning the NFC Championship game.
It is.
It's unbelievable.
We agree on that completely.
They are ecstatic. And I'm like, it helps, does it not?
Yes.
Okay, it helps. But my biggest thing is, let's go 1-16. Let's roll out one of these bums. Down the line quarterback that you took in an old quarterback, in the draft this year, of one of those guys that are not starting quarterbacks. And let's try and, let's 1-16 it out. And then let's go. Got to get Loomis out, too. The only way to get Loomis out, 1-16, does that help get Loomis out?
I don't know.
Well, does 16-1 help him stay?
At this point, it's 16-1. He might retire. At 1-16, I'm not sure he gets fired. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
maybe not. To me, it's got to get worse before he's squeezed out.
Any other situation, he would have been gone by now. But
of course, but he's not.
But
Miss Gale, even though Nicky, you're in the will, whatever. But we got to. I mean, with the fan base is just we've had enough.
I finally feel like that there's some light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, you have some clarity to the Carr situation. Your salary cap number next year for him is now a manageable deal rather than this giant albatross. You kept all your draft picks. Okay, you didn't make some panic moves. You didn't go over you didn't go completely out of bounds in free agency. You have a chance after this season to do two things. Number one, you can find out if any quarterback on your roster can play or not. And the second thing is you can move on from about 4 veteran contracts after this season, Jordan and Davis and Hill and Matthew, maybe Kamara at a reasonable cost. And this is a reset. Okay, they don't have to call it that, but this is a reset. And if Shug can play, great. And if he can't, you'll know. And then you can make a move in the other direction. And those other contracts kind of age off the cap a little bit. And you've kept your picks. Hopefully, enough of those guys can play. I see a path towards the light at the end of the tunnel now. It's a year away.
With Mickey Loomis involved?
It's a hard call, man, because of his relationship with the owner. I mean,
you see a path with Mickey Loomis involved.
I think Loomis has made better moves in the last couple of months, at least as far as the draft is concerned. They didn't
draft was okay.
They didn't go crazy in free agency, so this is better. Okay, they addressed the quarterback situation. Is Shug going to be the guy? I don't know.
How much of Derek Carr too? I mean, we got to, I've kind of started to teach you this, Charlie. I mean, it's easier when you got a great supporting cast. What roster was good that he had in his career?
Well, they make the playoffs 3 times when he was with the Raiders.
3 times?
I think he was either 0-3 or 0-2 in the playoffs. It might be 0-2.
Who did they play besides the Bengals that year? Fired the coach.
They had, oh gosh, I was reading his resume this morning. I didn't go back through it.
Just one playoff loss.
There's just one playoff loss?
Okay, that's only game. That's only playoff game. One playoff appearance.
He was in a bad situation with the Raiders and a bad situation with the Saints. If he had been drafted by the Rams and, ended up with Sean McVay, I don't know. It might have turned out a little bit differently. If he had been drafted by the Chiefs in 2014 and ended up with Andy Reid, I don't know. He's not without talent, but I never met the man, but there's something about him that people seem to really not like. And it's not like
he's in a position of leadership and he doesn't, we can't really prove it, but there's been enough smoke there about his phony leadership that, some of it's got to be, some of it has to be there. Okay, I get it. It breaks on ESPN on Saturday morning, and Jeremy Fowler had just done an ESPN piece, so some kind of NFL piece. And so they ask him, he says his career has to be viewed as underrated. Always productive, consummate professional, a tough guy. Very talented quarterback, very good quarterback, maybe not a breakthrough quarterback who got you over the hump.
I disagree with most of that.
Wow. You think the Saints fans disagree with that?
The Saints fans disagree with
the
all
Raiders fans disagree with that?
The only thing I'll give you is when he say tough guy, I wouldn't say tough guy, but he was durable. He was durable. He played. Was he a stand-up guy in the locker room? No, the Raiders couldn't wait to get rid of him. They sent him home. The Saints couldn't wait to get rid of him. He couldn't wait to get out, so that doesn't think. A lot of those numbers, Moscona's been beating his drum for 3 years, are hollow numbers. He was 14-13 with the Saints. I think they had 2 wins over winning teams in that. There were a lot of hollow statistics in there. Like I said, he's not without talent. If you look at him in the lab, he looks like an NFL quarterback. He threw the ball like an NFL quarterback. He just didn't always play like an upper-level NFL quarterback would. He wasn't the worst. He was far from the best. That's kind of my evaluation. I had hoped, Jimmy, when they signed him. I was for signing Derek Carr. I'll cop to it. When they signed him, I said, okay, here's a 32-year-old starting quarterback that's got ability. Put him on the right roster. Is this the right roster with the right coach? Maybe it'll work. It didn't.
Where's Daniel Jones at now?
Indy.
Yeah, I mean, so, I mean, that was your other choice.
Yeah, and
I mean, they just didn't have it. I mean, and how much following Breeze to set yourself up for really.
It doesn't help, but there were 3 guys in between him. I mean, he wasn't like it was the next
regular
year.
Starters.
Winston started a year.
Oh, Charlie, no, James, come on, no.
He was the first guy.
James, they like him so much they signed 3 guys after him with his new team.
He was the first guy that they gave significant money to after Breeze. That's true.
I mean, he was the first regular starting quarterback.
He was the first guy that they gave a full contract.
It was a Band-Aid.
Charlie, the one thing about his playoff record, he only played in 1 game, but the year he finished 3rd in MVP voting, he missed that playoff game. He was hurt. So they went
against Houston.
He went 12-3, as a quarterback that year. They were
both who played? It was Osweiler and I forget.
McGloin, maybe?
It was both backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, a wild card.
T.J. Yates, was that the T.J. Yates?
T.J. Yates played. He started against Cincinnati. I think Max is right. It might have been the kid from Penn State, McGloin, against Osweiler. Yeah. It was a bad one.
ESPN paid $100
They went with
million
Connor
to televise that game.
They went with Connor Cook in that playoff.
Connor Cook against Osweiler.
Yes.
And I could, what time slot they put that one on. That was the Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, the game. ESPN game. Got the last game.
What?
They pay $100
the Texans game. That's where they are every year.
Yeah, the Texans are there
every
single year. Saturday afternoon. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title, Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060. Full service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional service is what you get when you dial 296-0060. Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title.
Live at the Walkons in Brusly, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
The new go-to pizza joint in downtown Baton Rouge is Town Square Pizza. Town Square Pizza, located on North Boulevard across from the courthouse, right next to Shirley Pearl, is the perfect in-and-out destination when grabbing a quick workday lunch or visiting local attractions on the weekend. Town Square Pizza, you guessed it, square pizzas are consistently flavored and cooked perfectly every single time. It's as simple as that. Town Square Pizza, downtown.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in La Place and Plaquemine. If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee is the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffees and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com. This is Charles Henniger. For total maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes. We'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. Three best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
Troy Macros, bring him up. Troy, how's your weekend? How's Mother's Day, man? Take care of Mom?
Yeah, I did my best. You know, we're in between houses right now. We're building a new house, so we're kind of cramped in the in-laws. So, yeah, it went well, all things considered.
Yeah, good. Did you what about these playoffs, man? Huh? Man, we don't know what we're getting. Huh? You did get the bounce back. The desperate number one seeds, or the top seeds, I should say, the defending champs of the number one seed. In Game 3, Cleveland wins double digits against Indiana. Boston went never a doubt. The first time out, it's double digits and stayed double digits the entire game. So, did we see the betting public back those higher seeds that were desperate on the road?
Yeah, specifically the Cavaliers. What was that? Friday night, I think.
Yeah, it was Friday night.
We saw heavy money late on the Cavaliers, and that was a winner. However, in what was it, last night's game, the biggest sportsbook win of the entire weekend was on the Pacers-Cavaliers game. I think because it was such a blowout that literally no money cash for the Cavaliers tickets at all. Yeah, and the Thunder Nuggets game was also a big winner for the sportsbook yesterday. Even though I believe the Thunder got the win, right? That's one series that I mentioned, before it started. That I really liked the Nuggets to win the series because of the price. It was like plus 575. It's now the series is even 2-2, so it's a 3-game series, and the Nuggets are plus 400. So yeah, they had to win 2 games, but if you thought they could win 2 games, and I think it was going to be a close series, they have the experience, and I think they have more talent. Their 3 best players, I think, are probably better than the Thunder's 3 best players right now, but the Thunder are a better team and are going to be better longer. So I am very happy with that decision to bet on the Nuggets to win the series, even though I think Oklahoma wins. As expected, the biggest public win of the weekend was Knicks Boston. With Boston bouncing back, and now it looks like the Knicks, those those two big wins on the road. Looks like, that was it in terms of they spending a lot of gas. They're not very good at home. And more to the point, are any of these playoff teams good at home? I feel like the road team is winning well more than 75% of the time. Am I wrong in thinking that?
No. I mean, it's
looks like the hockey playoffs.
Yeah, you're right. And it's no, there's no doubt. It has really been not to script. Minus the the desperate stronger seeds, coming back, in Friday and Saturday night with the Celtics and Pacers. I mean, Cavaliers and Celtics. But then last night they were betting. Betting Cleveland. The indicators I saw, like, the Cavs were going to go in there and take care of it, and they couldn't have got spanked any more than they did.
Yeah, I just think, injuries and whether the players are getting healthier for Cleveland or not, like, it still takes some time to get back and not just get back to a game, but get back to a high-level, high-stakes playoff game against the Indiana team that I just think is really, really good. You go down that roster, and they have really good role players, really good burgeoning superstars, really good established stars. I really like this Indiana team. If they're playing a full strength, playing at their best Boston, I don't know. I think Boston's best is better than everyone's in the East. But I really like this Pacers team. And I think Cleveland has kind of run out of gas. But, if they can win the next game, I think things get really interesting because then you start to feel that pressure. And, Cleveland was the number one seed for a reason. They have a lot of guys who can handle pressure. So really interested to see what shakes out going forward. But, this round doesn't seem as exciting as the last week or so of the previous round. The first week of the playoffs were whatever, but then we had, 10 days of just incredible basketball. And the games have been good, yes. The Knicks coming back have been great. But I haven't been super impressed with the last 2 or 3 games of each series.
Well, I can't stress the importance of tonight's game, though. I mean, you tell me if Charlie and Troy, Matt, tell me tonight's winner in the Garden is winning a series.
Yeah.
Y'all, you agree, Troy? Yeah. Okay, Charlie?
Yeah, and I think it's going to be Boston. I think Boston is the better team. I said on a Friday, I said, you take all of the time that Boston has led in this series. They've had 2 really bad lapses for about 6-7 minutes apiece. Short of that, they've been the best team in this series. They were the best team in the regular season. I think they're a better team than New York.
Max, tonight's winner wins the series?
I would tend to agree. I think there's a chance that if the Knicks win, they could still lose, but the market agrees with you. The Celtics are minus 240 to win tonight, and they're minus 335 to win this series.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close. I would take tonight price. Because they're down 3-1, man. I don't know. I mean, haven't lost. They could, but I can tell you what. And don't Mother's Day, people were spending time with the family. But if you did have it on, yesterday's game was big because the Denver Nuggets got an 8-point lead. They fell behind again. Now they rallied back in Game 3. I mean, OKC led not by a lot, but led for 85% of that game. And the Nuggets got it back into overtime. And the Thunder, offensively, with their MVP, with the ball in his hands, were lost. To close out that game, they scored 1 point or 1 bucket in overtime. And I'm telling you, some bad, low-quality possessions as well. They're down 8 again on the road. They come back and they win but they don't cover. But that was huge because Denver's hosting the Western Conference Finals. They got home court if they could pull it out. So we're back square at 2 apiece. That was a big one yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think it's a unique matchup of the team of the future, right? The Oklahoma City Thunder, so young, so talented, with the team of the last 3 to 5 years, and the Nuggets, NBA champions with Murray, Porter, obviously Joker. And we thought they were going to fall off a cliff. They fired their coach with a week to go in the season. And it really showed a lot of championship mettle there in the first round. And I think, they haven't run out of gas. I think, they're not as good of a team, but I think their best players are just as good, if not better. But I think it's the sum of all parts. And this has been probably the most competitive series. I know Boston, New York, those 2 games have been wildly entertaining, but both teams have, one team got down 20 points, and the other team blew a 20-point lead twice. So that's not super competitive. I think the Nuggets Thunder series has been uber competitive and just a high quality of basketball being played with not a lot of it saved game 2 where there was a big scoring gap, but they've been very tight. So I've been very impressed with that series.
Where is the action tonight for the Boston the Knicks game?
Yeah, it's pretty heavily on the Celtics.
Okay, I thought
89% of the money and 86 tickets on Celtics to win. However, spread and right now it's with Celtics -9. Might have changed. I haven't looked in 20 minutes. But 54% of the money's on the Celtics to cover, but 55% of the tickets are on the Knicks.
Hey, Troy, here's one for you. I know it's off your radar, but we do the podcast weekly. Charlie's doing a great job. Another profitable week handicapping college baseball in the SEC. 16 teams. The 16th, the worst team, ROI, in the league, became the best team, ROI, over the weekend. If you took $100 and put them on the Missouri Tigers, you won Friday at plus 2,800. You won Saturday at roughly plus 800. And Sunday at plus 800. Your $100 would be $179,776. You think the ROI is completely flipped? They're plus like 14 units now, Charlie.
If we would have said on Friday on the show, said, take your money and go bet on Missouri this weekend for one game for the series for anything.
Well,
I mean, how bad would we have been laughed at? I mean,
I did a couple of Fridays ago when they went to Alabama. Remember the draft night?
Yeah,
they had a 5-0 lead. They lost 7-5 or whatever it is. I said I'm going to bet them. Well, the first score was like 8-0. I'm like, I can't even bet these guys anymore. So I might be the only guy. Troy, are there any records of anybody who bet the Missouri Tigers this past weekend at those prices?
If they did not bet more than $25.
Okay.
I have to set some parameters on my data, or else I'll be looking at this stuff for hours. But I will give you one example, kind of in my wheelhouse, and I think it was 3 years ago. But St. John's basketball, obviously not as good as they were this past year. They were actually really bad. I think this was 3 years ago. They played Duke at home, and then went to Villanova, that Monday. And I think Duke was ranked 6th and Villanova was 2. And St. John's won both those games big, like by 16 points. And they were probably, plus 600 going into the Duke game, and then probably plus 700 going on the road against Villanova. Won both those games. So if you had done that where you bet $100, took the winnings and bet it on the second game, you would have won, upwards of $75,000. So it takes a lot of gumption to take all your winnings on a heavy dog and put it back on them again to do it twice in a row. But if it wins very nice.
This would have been like when NC State beat Houston in the finals, Lorenzo Charles. If they'd have come back and played the next 2 nights, and NC State had beat them 2 more times.
Yeah. Okay, Villanova, you shot 82% from the floor. Do it again. Yeah, 2 more times. Yep. So, I mean, the craziest I can remember was that Reds-A's series where the Reds were Dave Stewart and Welch and all the Bash brothers, Ricky Henderson, and I mean, they're two north of $2 favorites in every game, and they got swept all 4. This is on a different level. Plus 2,800, plus 800, plus 800. I mean, this is now if you had a 3-team parlay, which you can't. I guess if you bet it if you could, that'd pay $234,800 on a 3-teamer. But you roll over, you could have taken 100. And rolled it over to 179,000.
It's the most improbable series I've seen since I've been covering baseball. It's the college baseball. I mean, I've seen a game here and there. Texas Southern beat Rice in a number 1 pick. But for a 3-game series, the most improbable result I've ever seen.
From 16 to 1st in ROI.
Wow.
Break up. They're going to win another one this weekend.
See, I thought the last weekend they would actually have a chance. If they were 0-27. The pressure would have been on a little bit not to lose to them.
Troy, any other picks you got for us, man, for basketball or anything else?
No, I'll give you a little recap of the UFC card.
Yeah, go ahead.
We had a title change, and the book took a lot of money on Bilal Muhammad to retain, and he's an excellent grappler, world-class grappler. Had won 9 in a row on the back of his wrestling, and he fought a striker, Jackie Della Maddalena, who's very good, but certainly not elite world-class level striker. And Bilal Muhammad, now as a champion, thought, I'm the best in the world. I can beat anyone, anywhere. And that's not the case. He tried to strike with a striker, and when he should have grappled and wrestled. And you see this, big men who can stretch and hit 3-pointers decide, I don't want to bang in the paint. I'm going to go out and hit 3-pointers, when really you should just lean on what you're good at and just bang in the paint. And that's what Bilal Muhammad should have done. and only had one takedown, and that was in the 4th or 5th round. Della Maddalena was, I believe, a plus 235 underdog. And the book won big on that. And I think it comes down to game plan. All game plans, if you just done what you're good at, you would have won this fight and would have retained your title. But now you're a one and done. You won the title. You defended. You had one defense and you lost because you didn't stick to the game plan and you wanted to strike a striker when you could have out-grappled the striker. So I was very disappointed in that. Although I did have this fight to go to the decision because I thought that's just how it would play out, and it did. So that was at least a win in my book there.
All right, Troy. Follow Troy on Twitter at Troy Macker. That's Machir. Troy, thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you on Friday.
Have a good one, guys.
All right, don't forget our friends over at Los Reyes. I was at the Queen on, we went to the crawfish contest for St. John Vianney. That was fun, man. Phenomenal. Great stuff as always, highly organized, and they were blessed with some great weather also. And then we went over to the Queen, and on the way home, got to hit Los Reyes Mexican Grill. Get you happy hours, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Yes, Mr. Kyle and the great staff over there doing a wonderful job. Got my fajita chicken supreme tacos with the pico de gallo and all that good stuff. Fresh jalapeno. Their guacamole is outstanding. They're a great lunch menu as well. I mean, just generous portions. Fresh food, everything you want, from tacos, burritos, enchiladas to fajitas. It's Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Lee, just off of Nicholson, across from Mike Anderson's.
Live at Walkons and Brusly, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill, Wesley, across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus, $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lagniappe on Perkins and Bluebonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Bayou Ford powers the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch us live daily. Find what you missed on demand and subscribe to each show's channel to get notified when we go live or new videos arrive. Plus, discover exclusive YouTube broadcasts you can't find anywhere else. From AFR to OTB and everything in between. It's the Watch 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel powered by Bayou Ford.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life
with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Walkons in Brusly on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
LSU will play a home-and-home football series in 28-29 with SMU. First game of the season both years in 2028 and 2029. Contest at SMU will be at Gerald Ford Field, capacity 32,000. Be a tough ticket for LSU fans, but this is a Power 5 matchup, a Power 4 matchup now with SMU in the ACC. They may
smallest venue they played in.
Probably since Mississippi State was down under 50,000, and that's been a while.
32.
Yeah,
Mississippi State had been at 32.
Right, it was in the 47s. Hour number 2 coming straight ahead here. Walk-ons in Brusly, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Lunch.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, first batch comes out at 5 p.m. Weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. Louisiana based since 1908 for all your business and personal banking solutions for any needs. Check out the local bankers ready to help you meet your financial goals with competitive rates, great annual percentage yields, and low minimum balances. Talk to one of the local bankers at any Baton Rouge location, corporate, Sherwood Forest, Longform Village, and Bluebonnet. You'll also find home bank locations in Acadiana, New Orleans, the North Shore, Natchez, and Houston. Visit home24bank.com for more information. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Louisiana's big weather can mean big damage to your roof. Our team offers free inspections and guarantees your satisfaction. Call 756-8603 or visit riceandroofing.com.
Just to be on the safe side. Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-769.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Walkons in Brusly on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Walk-ons in Brusly. Come by and see us here for lunch. John Foster Country here on the west side. Everybody rooting for the American Idol hopeful. Cut it down to 3 tonight, so we'll see how he.
I confirmed, by the way, Wednesday afternoon would be the
Wednesday
hometown,
afternoon in Addis, right?
Top 3. Don't want to get ahead of things, but in Addis, top 3. So vote tonight. Vote. 30 times. You can do it.
Just to back up on that story at the end of the hour, LSU going to play against SMU in 29 in Dallas. I don't know if they're going to expand that stadium or not between now and then. They just did $100 million facilities renovation onto the end of the stadium where it's the football complex. They had a donor gave them $100 million. That was weight room, meeting rooms, coaches' offices, etc. And they just finished that this year. So I don't know. It may very well be a cozy little atmosphere.
My money's going to be more than 32,000 when they play.
Well, you got 4 years, so I would imagine that there's going to be some expansions coming. I'm sure they want to do the football building first and get that taken care of.
The smallest venue that LSU's played since 1947.
You looked that up during the break. It was Mississippi
State. Did they play Mississippi State in Jackson at that time? Jackson Memorial holds 60,000.
Yeah, it holds 60. So
but State's Stadium, they've had bigger than this since 1948. They expanded to 35,000.
The only reason they were the smallest in the league for a while. They were like 47, 50,000, but it was still bigger than this. So anyway, we'll see. And they
got cheese, Charlie.
I know.
They just went to the playoff.
Yeah.
They're dumping money now. They're gonna have play. In it's not the old days. This just in, but as far as they got a payroll.
Yeah.
So
what do you think that program looks like 4 years from now? 5 years into a major conference, 5 years into potential playoff money, and
like us, I think they have more of a stronger, a wealthier fan base than anybody. Now they don't have the numbers that some of the other schools have. Their enrollment is not, but it is the students who are going there come from the wealthiest families in the country. I think they're one guy just put it up by himself, right?
He gave him $100 million.
Yeah, $100 million.
That's got to be second to T. Boone Pickens at Oklahoma State when he was alive for a one-time gift.
Yeah, but they got a lot. They
got plenty of money.
I'll be shocked if something's not started. They might be in the middle of construction. They might not get it done. I think with this, you got to.
I'm more concerned about it being a good football team than how many seats are in the stadium. I think SMU they make the playoffs last year and LSU didn't, so don't look down your nose at anybody. I think that could be a really good program at that time.
Because of the money.
Yes.
Because everything's about the money. And so, so that facility, it's a matter of time before they build it up. You remember they were dead. They were dead. They were coming off the death penalty. It was embarrassing for them to play in Cowboy Stadium, with 5,000 or so. And nobody likes to support a loser. And now they get in and they get into playoff as well. Shoot, sky's the limit, man.
And
they're coming.
This is also a great trend that we're seeing now. Last week we watched Clemson schedule games with Oklahoma when they already had games scheduled with South Carolina and Georgia. And why? We said, well, man, you look at 3 possible power conference teams on your non-conference schedule, what are you doing? Well, the ACC contract weighs, it's not equal distribution like the SEC is. It's weighted. One of the factors is television ratings. Hey, you play LSU or you play Kent State, what's going to be on TV? SMU's in the ACC. They're taking this into account. I love it. I love it. Give me more good games. I'm all for that. So this is the second school we've seen in a week that is upgraded their non-conference schedule in the ACC. This time LSU is involved. So
well, no, it's good now. But also this comes on the heels of the news that we look like we got the ninth game money figure that that ESPN's getting. I mean that ESPN's paying to the SEC.
They are willing to put the money up now, and really what they're waiting on is the playoff format.
50 to 80 million.
Yeah, and they'll do that as soon as the playoff expands, and they guarantee they're going to go to 16. It looks like the meetings last week. 16 is going to be the number, probably starting in 26, and you're going to guarantee 4 SEC teams as well as 4 Big 10 teams. You get that, then the SEC goes to 9 games. And you still have the requirement to play a power conference team besides the 9 games. That's 10 games. Your number of rental wins is shrinking.
That's fine with me.
That's preferred. Far from
much
preferred.
Needed.
You looked at the odds.
I mean, we're running clock on a chunk of games now.
I
chunk
think
that's 8 and under crap. You know. I mean, you got a lopsided.
I think you're going to be. I think you're going to be down to 1 rental win when all the dust settles with the new playoff format, which I can stomach one of those games a year. But getting away from 3 or 4 of them for a lot of these teams,
moving in the right direction.
Yeah, you had the College World Series odds up here a second ago, and Arkansas is still a favorite to win the whole thing, right?
They are. And they're also favored. Now, LSU was minus 115 to make it to the College World Series before yesterday's game. And Arkansas and Tennessee were second and third at plus money. Arkansas, after yesterday's win, moves back to the favorite to make it to the College World Series at minus $2. LSU remains at minus 115. Tennessee, despite losing 2 out of 3, is minus 170 to make it to Omaha. I mean, 2 teams lost the series, conference series this weekend, and are the favorites. You know, LSU now third choice of mine. Now to win the whole thing, Arkansas is the favorite plus 400. Tennessee second choice plus 650. LSU third choice at plus 750.
Not just that they lose the series this weekend. Okay, Arkansas came to Baton Rouge. You lose to LSU. That's not going to hurt your power ranking. Tennessee lost at home, which is harder. Vanderbilt is very good. That's a top 5 RPI. But think about what they've done in the last month and a half. This is now 5 out of 6 Tennessee series losses for Tennessee and 4 out of 5 for Arkansas. The favorites to win the College World Series right now have lost 4 of their last 5 series. Now, the one they won was a sweep against Texas, but they've lost 4 out of the last 5.
I'm going golf betting here, and because I don't see the Scotty Scheffler in this group.
No, there's
okay.
Not,
I don't see the unbeatables. All Arkansas, Tennessee, LSU, Georgia Tech. All of these are the top 5 choices. They all have flaws. They all have gone in through different little funks deep into the season. So I'm going to take some 40, 50, 60, 70 flyers. But what I think is more reasonable, like Charlie Auburn's good. They just hadn't been there.
They're very good.
Auburn's going to get into a top 8 seed, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Unless they collapse.
They're plus $4 to make it to the College World Series. They're going to be favored. You can have that one. You can save that Dutton for that marble game in the first weekend, and you're going to be favored over who comes off the other side of the bracket.
He had his first off outing this past weekend. That's the first time he's pitched what I would say bad the whole year.
South Carolina, a dead team.
Yeah, they got to him, but that's the first time he's pitched bad.
To that branding, I even had to do a double take when D1 Baseball had him second in the country. They're number 2 in the country, and they're plus 400.
And they're number 2 in the RPI.
Yeah, plus 400 to make it to. Now they're
Right.
40 to 1 to win it all. And that's just because they haven't been there
Yep.
as much as Tennessee won it last year. LSU won
Yeah.
it. You know, they're it's just, I mean, I'm going to take a shot on a team like, following from afar, like UC Irvine at plus $5 to make it to Omaha, Arizona plus 650, to make it. I don't think Alabama can make it. I don't think Ole Miss can make it. So, in Kentucky, even Mangioni's squeezing as much out of it. They got so many injuries. And so that was a damaging weekend for Oklahoma, to get swept against a team that's that banged up.
Yeah, they're almost locked into a 2 seed now.
I mean, like Duke. Duke is plus 650 to make it to Omaha.
They took 2 out of 3 against Clemson this past
Man,
week. Where's Oregon State? Do you see Oregon State?
Oregon State is plus 310.
Okay, they're an RPI 6. And
they're likely to get a top 8 seed.
I think they are because they're going to want to put somebody out on the West Coast. Oregon State is the 6 RPI. They just beat Iowa 2 games and they tied the third one. Now, that doesn't mean anything to anybody except Iowa's leading the Big Ten. They're leading the Big Ten with a 67 RPI. That's ahead of UCLA, whose RPI is 10, but is in second place. So I think they're going to reward. Oregon State's got a top 30 strength of schedule. I think the committee's going to reward them for doing that without being in a conference. So if you're going to talk about West Coast seeds, Oregon State and UCLA are the 2 that are going to be there as potential top 8s. That's a 6 RPI and a 10 RPI. I think you could also see Irvine, who's leading the Big West and has a top 20 RPI, as a top 16 seed. And then I think I can't tell you that anybody in the Big 12 is a guarantee to host.
Let me ask you one in Big 12 country. What is Dallas Baptist going to get a host site? Probably 9 to 16.
I think they've got a good shot to do that. They're leading Coosa by multiple games. They got an RPI of 20. The strength of schedule is not bad. I think there were 3 teams I wrote down, Jimmy, that are outside the power conferences with a chance to host. Irvine is one. They're leading the Big West. Dallas Baptist is the second one. They're leading Coosa. And I think the lock outside of the power conferences is Coastal Carolina. They're leading the Sun Belt, and they've got an RPI of 12. Sun Belt's going to get 3 teams in this year, by the way.
Who's that?
They're going to get Coastal Carolina's a lock, probably host. Southern Miss.
Southern Miss is going to host.
No, Coastal Carolina is going to host. Southern Miss is going to get in the tournament as a 30 RPI, and Troy is going to get in as a 38. And Coastal, I think, is going to host. Not a top 8, but they're going to host. Dallas Baptist strength of schedule.
You just said they weren't going to.
No, I said I think Coastal Carolina will host. Southern Miss will get in the tournament. Troy will get in the tournament. They won't host.
Okay.
The Sun Belt's a 3-bid.
Their ranking has been around 20, and they've been winning every game. So
who's that? Which one you talking
Southern
about?
Miss.
Yeah, the RPI is a little low to host at 30,
okay.
but they get in for sure. The Sun Belt gets somebody off the beaten path, win that tournament. They get 4 teams in.
It's about dead money. Texas A&M plus 275. What's their chances of getting Omaha? Pretty hard when you don't get in a tournament, huh?
Right now, I would say Texas A&M's chances to get in the NCAA tournament, period, are pretty poor. They got 10 conference wins. They got to go to Georgia this weekend. I mean, you got to get to 13.
They lost to a 0-2. Got
Yeah,
swept at home on 0-20
swept. I
14.
mean, you can't get that. That's a dead cat under the house.
That guy
man. You
can't survive, huh?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
They made that contract. This has been published in Texas. I'm not breaking any news here. That contract is very, very easy for A&M to get out of. It's a very, very low buyout. And they got kind of panicked a little bit last year when everybody was going to transfer out after Schloss left. It was late in the cycle, and they just decided to bring him in.
He kept the stars.
He
did.
Mean,
on paper, it just, hey, let's run it back.
And they lost Grahovic at the beginning of the season.
So what you telling me? An administration actually said, "Hey, but let's not dive in first. Let's give him a job. But why are we gonna dive in head first with the contract? I mean, this guy's not. Yeah. He doesn't have 10 more jobs lined up, right?
No.
Okay, so unnecessary stuff. Maybe they're forced. They're strapped. They're having to do all kinds of. What LSU do this weekend? Some kind of event to kind of raise money or whatever. I mean,
just every weekend. Pretty much.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's you.
You know why I like LSU?
I mean, that's how you get a. I mean, what does this guy have on the table that we need to dive in? Nothing. Give him what kind of the 1 year deal for the player. Prove it type of deal. Prove it contract.
Let me tell you why I like LSU right now. There's plenty of things you can say. Well, okay, they went through a hitting slump. They've been a little bit up and down. The bullpen has been up and down outside of the top two, and all of that's true. The bullpen, walked a bunch of guys that you 6 yesterday and 4 Thursday. Anthony Ianson, right now, may damn well be the key to this team. He has been coming on the last month as well as any pitcher in the country. 6 shutout innings, again, with 1 walk and 11 strikeouts against Arkansas. Arkansas came into this weekend 20 points better than second place in SEC batting average. This is a good hitting team, and Ianson completely shut him down. His last 4 starts, the ERA is 1.35. 45 strikeouts and 11 walks, and only 2 of those walks in the last 2 weeks. This is against Arkansas. A&M will, their deal for right now. Tennessee, who can hit, and Alabama, who's not bad. We know that Jay Johnson has not turned his pitching around to pitch down in the order. Okay, he didn't do it if he didn't do it with Paul Skeens, it's hard to imagine him doing it with anybody else. So I expect I expect Anderson to start the opener of any postseason series that they have. That means Ianson's pitching the marble game of a regional. It means he's either going to pitch to clinch a super or to put you into a game 3 of a super to keep you alive. And it means in Omaha, if he pitches a second game, he could put you into a winner's bracket. These are the most important games. And right now, based on Johnson's past history and what they're doing right now, Ianson's going to pitch those games. And right now, he's LSU's best pitcher. Anderson's pitching fine, but Ianson's pitching out of his mind. He keeps that going, they're going to be very, very hard to beat. And I think they're going to be really hard to beat twice in this building. As long you go to South Carolina, win a couple games, lock up your top 8 national seed, and I think they're going to be hard. They're going to be a very hard out.
Well,
these last games with Tennessee and Arkansas, these are really good teams. They won't see anybody nearly that good in a regional or a super regional at the box, I don't think.
All right, but the challenge is not we don't see anything on paper, but the situational spot that we've been talking about, where it's more like college basketball and college football, where these emotional letdowns. It's an emotional series this past weekend.
Yes,
and so I mean, where because you liked them coming up to this series. I mean, you still gotta don't go there and give it right back.
No,
that's for damn sure.
And South Carolina's had a little bit of a heartbeat at home at times. That was where the one series win came in.
I thought against Florida, and Florida just
Florida demolished
cranked them, bro.
In games 2 and 3, games 2 and 3 especially. Game 1 was.
Were they outscoring 55-8 or something?
It was. Let's see. I wrote that down somewhere. Let me go to page 2. It was 39-8 in the series, and 45-15 against Auburn. And one of those games was actually a 1-run game. The second game of the series, I think Auburn won at 11-10. So, Ianson is the biggest takeaway from the weekend to me, and it's a 4-week takeaway. But you go shut that lineup down, he won't see a better lineup than Arkansas.
Watch him on Saturday too. His body language is he's just reeking confidence right now too.
Yeah. The fastball's humming. I mean, the breaking ball's always been there. The fastball's humming.
Well, he threw that breaking ball where, like, if he knows, it's just the way he put it. That's gonna be a hard pitch. He's got some swagger to him right now. He's and maybe that's just at home. I don't know, but that's
he did it at A&M. He threw a complete game.
Yeah. He's.
I don't want to talk up wins against A&M today.
No.
But
that's
still,
a tough environment.
And 9 innings.
This is before this disaster.
Yeah.
That they had. A&M was obviously a more dialed-in team against LSU than they were in Missouri. I mean, that's pretty fair.
For sure.
Don't forget our friend Dana Brown at the law office of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Both Charlie and I have used Dana's team of attorneys at different stages of our lives, different reasons. Yes, indeed. Check them out at 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. You can schedule that initial consultation over the phone, or it's very easy to do on the website as well. So that's why you have to take advantage of the consultation. We'll evaluate your situation, give you some honest feedback, and play a percentage points, a logical approach toward your case. So speaking of Dana Brown, the consensus picks, one of our contributors, Seb Straka, he does hit. So the Xander Schauffele, our one consensus pick, did not. But one of the golfers that was mentioned, Seb Straka, hits at 40-1 this past weekend. My favorite Austrian golfer, Charlie.
PGA Championship.
Ingemar
this
Stenmark,
week.
Franz Klammer, move over.
Stenmark was a skier, wasn't he?
Actually, Ingemar Stenmark was a Swede. He was a Swede. Franz Klammer was Austrian. Yeah.
Wasn't Stenmark a skier?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, okay.
That's what they're famous for, Charlie.
Okay.
Ski. They're much
play golf on the side.
Much stronger skiers, much richer history skiers than they have been.
Live at Walkons in Brusly, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today, and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Attention vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Grostead, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Grostead exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino. With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Walkons in Brusly on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And we're back here at Walk-Ons in Brusly, brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners when it comes to retirement. No two situations are alike, so let them work with you. No matter what stage of your life that you are at, they'll get a plan that is tailor-made to your family. Doesn't matter what your age or your income, they're going to do what is best for you as you get towards retirement. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you, and I know for sure because they have been working for me for a long time. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376. Online is coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, member FINRA SIPC. The lottery is tonight in the NBA. This is as big a week for the New Orleans Pelicans in quite some time for what could happen, not necessarily what will happen. Let me explain. First of all, let me give you the odds for tonight. New Orleans is the fourth most ping pong balls in the hopper. They have a 48.1% chance to be a top 4 pick. They have a 12.5% chance for the number 1 overall pick. There are 3 teams in front of them in those odds. Charlotte, Washington, and Utah all have the same 52% chance at the top pick, 14% chance 52% chance at a top 4 pick, 14% chance at the number 1 overall pick. That's good. Now, on the other side, the Pelicans could fall. They could fall. The lowest they could fall is 8th. There's a 2.2% chance of that happening. So they've got a shot. This is a pretty good draft. Cooper Flagg is the crown jewel up at the top of this thing. Harper and Bailey from Rutgers. If they stay in the 4th spot, VJ Edgecombe from Baylor is a possibility of a pick. But they can upgrade significantly right there. But even what could be even bigger, this is a draft combine week in Chicago. Report from ESPN this morning that for the first time, Giannis Antetokounmpo is open to leaving Milwaukee. Why does this matter to New Orleans? They've got a pick swap in 26. They've got an unprotected first coming back from Milwaukee in 27. If Giannis leaves and Lillard is out, well, it ain't going to be very good. So there's not only the potential for, the range on this is just huge. If they were to luck up and get the number 1 pick tonight, and then you have this trade chip if Giannis decides he wants out, and I think Giannis will leave. And it doesn't from New Orleans' standpoint, it doesn't even matter where he goes.
Wow.
Just so he leaves.
Just imagine if the Pels can win the lottery, huh?
Yeah, they've won it twice.
Could ever win the lottery.
Yeah, well,
man.
I got to root for something, man. I got
the Spurs.
Hey, look, Missouri swept A&M. Okay, $100 gets you $180,000. Okay, Charlie. So why not?
You didn't have that Friday, by the way.
With Derek Carr. No, I did not, Charlie.
No, because if you would have, we probably wouldn't have seen you today. You'd have probably taken the day off.
Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Derek Carr gives up $30 million and the Pels win the lottery. I mean, what's that parlay pay? Huh? It's all the Saints need.
Mayo's
halfway home.
Mayo's giving all the credit to the new Pope, right?
No, the Pope. Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, but these Knicks, these son of guns, up in New York. The Pope's gonna help the Knicks. What the hell the Knicks got to do as Catholic? He's taking care of the Saints first.
Nova.
Come on, man.
Did the White Sox win this weekend?
Yes.
Yeah.
They won 2 out of 3.
Okay.
Yes.
Tim Elko hit his first home run, the former Ole Miss star, for the White
Jimmy,
Sox
your Cubs
yesterday.
106. Just start the clock over again.
What?
They're screwed. I mean,
no.
a White Sox fan. You're
Cubby's got a real soft schedule coming up right now, though. Keep in mind, this is not the time to bet against the Cubs. I'll tell you what, the next 9 they can go 8-1 easily. So, it's no, and like how about the Cubs issuing these Cubs fans are so goofy sometimes, man. I mean, I love the Cubbies, but really, he's born on the South Side. You know how many people in the born on the South Side are Cubs fans? Very few.
And
percentages, no.
And I
He's
know
not
you
a
know
Cubs
this,
fan.
but apparently you can't root for both. It's not like you can say I root for
Charlie,
the Sox and the Cubs. You can't do
if
that.
you wear Cubs gear at Comiskey or whatever they call it now, U.S. Cellular, they gonna let you know, bro.
Yeah.
They gonna come into Wrigley Field and start
I've
cursing you. It's a rough crowd.
I've heard that.
I've heard that. Rough crowd.
So if you want the best good luck charm, and that's what they send to these the lottery, right? They send a good luck charm. You know, you got a rabbit's foot, you got a lucky coin, whatever you got. So the Pelicans are sending their biggest good luck charm they could send. They're sending Zion. He's going to be there tonight.
Why not? Why not? So on it was an airline highway at Saints facility. Y'all did see that Friday morning before the Carr news. I think you saw the white smoke. Huh?
It came out of the
the white smoke was coming out. So are they when is the lottery's tonight?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. We're gonna see the smoke again, huh?
If I thought it would help, I'd go light the fire myself.
In Mickey, we trust.
Well, Mickey's on the other side of the building. In Joe Dumars, you trust now.
Oh, okay. I mean, Saints medical staff. Charlie said they handled everything perfectly. There was no case against them.
No,
they were going to get the
say
money,
that.
no problem there. So they've got a great track record. So yes, things are on the up.
Max, I'm looking for some optimism here. Give me a little optimism, please.
I will say
they got ping pong balls.
Look, they've been fortunate. The Spurs have had a lot of fortune in the lottery. Maybe the Pelicans are another team that can do that. Giannis right now, thankfully, our friends over at the DraftKings Sportsbook, the Queen, have odds on Giannis's next team for next year.
Oh, wait, I want to guess. The Heat.
Well, it includes the Bucks. They're the favorite at minus 200. They
Okay.
still think, they're still favored to keep him next year. The Rockets and Spurs are the next choices. They have a lot of young pieces, that they could trade away. Nice assets that aren't, you don't want to give up draft picks because Giannis, whatever team he's going to go to, they're going to be probably a pretty good team, a contender. Those picks aren't going to be worth much. So they have young pieces, the Spurs and the Rockets. The Pelicans are all the way down to 50-1, which they're not maybe seeing that connection. But Brian Windhorst did say on ESPN he expects the Pelicans to be in play for Giannis.
Giannis is coming off a season where the second straight year he averaged over 30 points, over 10 rebounds, over 5 assists on 60% shooting. Nobody's ever done that.
It's like third or fourth in the MVP.
Yeah, this season was every bit as good as his MVP season statistically, if not even maybe a little bit better. They just, Milwaukee wasn't as good. He's 30 years old. He's coming off of as good a season as he's ever had. And this guy's been, the MVP before. So I'm hopeful that all of this works out for New Orleans. Houston would be a real interest because they could move. First of all, they got, is it Phoenix's draft picks or Brooklyn's draft picks? I think it's Phoenix's draft picks. So that's good.
Where's the Lakers' odds on that thing?
Yeah, really.
Could they add another piece?
I don't know.
22-1.
What does history? What does history tell us? In
Seventh
this,
choice.
What does history tell us in this whole process? The Lakers only have a chance.
The Lakers will find.
Maybe the Bucks won't shop them around. They'll just ask the Lakers what they want.
Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, Paul Gasol, who clearly put them over for the championship one year. I mean, who doesn't get as much credit because he didn't have as strong of a career, but absolutely. The difference in one of their championships. Anyway, yes, the league loves LA, bro. They didn't get any. They got 5 games for LA in the postseason this year. They want some more.
Hey, you remember the year they won it was a coin flip back then to get the pick for Magic Johnson because they got that pick from Cleveland with Septien, the crazy owner that made them change the rule. You remember who the number 2 pick was that year? This 1979.
The 79 draft.
I would never have come up with this.
Well, where was Bird? Bird was a senior.
The year the Celtics had exercised an exception to take him the year before, even though he wasn't.
Okay, so they locked him in after his junior year.
Yeah, they overruled that rule after the Celtics did that too.
Yeah, well, all back. I mean,
he was smart. He did the right thing.
Yeah.
But it was the difference between Magic Johnson. And the Bulls had the second pick, and they took Dave Greenwood, who had the better career. Magic Johnson or Dave Greenwood?
Greenwood from UCLA?
He was.
Okay.
He was. He's an excellent college player. He did the NBA
I'm
level.
sure he was. But Charlie, you can go through some, for whatever reasons, injuries or just flat out bust. You can go through some guys that, I mean, Michael Olowokandi.
Ooh.
Remember him, huh?
I do not.
First pick overall.
out of Pacific.
Let me ask the boy.
I'm sorry.
Damn,
Let's
boy.
go
I
for
mean,
Keep going.
Out of Pacific, yes.
Yes.
His team, that was the Ben Simmons trivia question. Now we got a few of them, huh? We got number one pick. Team did not make it to the NCAA tournament the year before. So Olowokandi was one of them. Ben Simmons was the other. Now you got like Anthony Edwards, and he's just fine.
Yeah.
But his team didn't go.
Markelle Fultz.
Markelle Fultz was number one?
He was. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I mean, okay.
Out of
rotational player for the Magic. Jeez.
Yeah, out of that was the pick that
Sixers.
Philadelphia trade. The
Sixers took him first.
Yeah, the Sixers took him first, and Boston got the 3 pick and additional picks and took Tatum, right? Or was that Brown?
Tatum
process kind of took a detour, huh? The Philadelphia process.
And the process has got an injury problem right now too, right? Joel Embiid, he's hurt, right?
Yes, he's hurt.
He was the biggest piece that they got out of the process.
He's the best. He's a little bit of
He's a problem.
Yes, he's not one you want to depend on.
Brought to you by Total Maintenance, AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing. Total Maintenance, your one-stop sales shop for all of these things since 1980. Service today, every day. That's the slogan. So nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Both in Baton Rouge and New Orleans, full staff, authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, Generac and Cummings generators for all your electrical and plumbing needs as well. In Baton Rouge, it's 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance. Live here at Walkons in Brusly, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
The new go-to pizza joint in downtown Baton Rouge is Town Square Pizza. Town Square Pizza, located on North Boulevard across from the courthouse, right next to Shirley Pearl, is the perfect in-and-out destination when grabbing a quick workday lunch or visiting local attractions on the weekend. Town Square Pizza, you guessed it, square pizzas are consistently flavored and cooked perfectly every single time. It's as simple as that. Town Square Pizza, downtown.
Bayou Ford powers the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch us live daily. Find what you missed on demand and subscribe to each show's channel to get notified when we go live or new videos arrive. Plus, discover exclusive YouTube broadcasts you can't find anywhere else. From AFR to OTB and everything in between. It's the Watch 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel powered by Bayou Ford.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. Louisiana based since 1908 for all your business and personal banking solutions for any needs. Check out the local bankers ready to help you meet your financial goals with competitive rates, great annual percentage yields, and low minimum balances. Talk to one of the local bankers at any Baton Rouge location, Corporate, Sherwood Forest, Longform Village, and Bluebonnet. You'll also find Home Bank locations in Acadiana, New Orleans, the North Shore, Natchez, and Houston. Visit home24bank.com for more information. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes. We'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU. Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for.
Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports, and it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions, just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Walkons in Brusly on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at the Walk-Ons Room. You can always get the show on demand, 1045ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net. New Handycast going to drop this afternoon. Doug Thompson, Dan Canterbury, and myself about LSU baseball. We got a lot to discuss there. I asked the guys during the break if there had ever been a team in the modern era, not the expansion era, but in the modern era, in the NFL that had gone into a season with zero quarterbacks that had ever won a game. And the Saints could easily fall into that if they don't sign a veteran quarterback, although they could between now and the season with three quarterbacks on the roster right now, none of whom have ever won an NFL start. This is the biggest opportunity for a reset, and it's what they're doing. Like I said, whether they call it that or not, Derek Carr's retirement frees up, and we're talking about 2026 cap money. The 2025 cap is done. Okay, the fluctuations you make there are largely irrelevant. Free agency is done. The draft is done. We're talking about 26 now. You've basically cut his cap number in half. And here's the number, guaranteed salary. Now, this is not cap number, but guaranteed salary in 2026 for, and I'm just going to go through the old guys. I know they're all really good, have had good careers. Taysom Hill. The Saints owe him zero guaranteed salary in 26. There's a cap number, but there's zero guaranteed salary. Cam Jordan has zero guaranteed salary in 2026. Demario Davis has zero guaranteed salary in 2026. Tyrann Mathieu has zero guaranteed salary in 2026.
Tyrann's going to be gone, man.
What's that?
I think Tyrann's going to be gone by 26.
Yeah, we're talking about next. These guys will all play this year out. So that's zero guaranteed money that you got in the four oldest guys on your team. The next one is Alvin Kamara. You got $3 million in guaranteed salary. That's an easy deal to swallow. I guess what I'm saying is they don't have to admit it's a reset. They don't have to call it a reset, but they have taken moves to begin the reset. They kept all their draft picks. They have not gone crazy with any of the extensions. They didn't go crazy in free agency. And now the biggest boat anchor on this thing is done with Derek Carr. I think the Saints are in a great position now to see if some of these young guys can play. And if they can't, then you go find a quarterback. Okay. You've got enough draft ammo next year in what's supposed to be a pretty healthy quarterback draft to go get one. One of these guys can play, all the better. If they can't, there'll be, I don't know, four quarterbacks.
Rattler.
Oh, I have, yeah. I want to see Shug. I mean,
okay,
yeah, and that's who I expect to start the
we'll say that.
Sure.
You saying any of these quarterbacks? I've seen enough of Rattler and Hayner. I don't think they're NFL. Could it be a backup somewhere? Yeah. For the Saints, but
I think you're probably right. I'm just kind of lumping them all in there. But, yeah, I expect this is 99% about whether Shug can play or not.
And he probably can't.
I'm not ready to say that yet. I want to look. I don't want to just – I just want to discard him out of hand. I want to see. Okay, he's got good size. He's got a good arm. He's saying the right thing. Well, he's 26 years old. That doesn't bother me at all.
It doesn't?
No, not at all.
Shouldn't he be better in college than when he's that damn older than everybody? Huh? Let's be fair.
Okay.
Jeez. I mean, that's not a concern.
I thought he had a pretty good year last year.
Okay. Yeah, he's okay. He's good. He was fine. There's been a lot of really good quarterbacks that can't sniff, playing in the NFL.
That's why I want to see. Okay. I mean,
Probably not. He's 26 and he's pretty good in college.
Okay,
dude.
Can I look at least because this?
No, you got to look.
This is a.
You got to look. He's going to start day one.
This is
forget that. Hayner and Rattler cannot beat him out.
This
They've
is a
invested
win
what
either
round
way.
pick?
No, this is a win either way. If he starts and he's good, fantastic. You found a quarterback. If he starts and he can't play, then and you don't have this, like I said, this giant boat anchor on your cap to go get another quarterback. You can actually go quarterback shopping after this if Shug doesn't work out. This is the reset. Okay, I mean, as long as they don't go and sign any crazy contracts, with 30-year-old guys between now and the 26 offseason, this is the reset. This is what you've been asking for. It took some bizarre circumstances to get it done, but it's here. This is the reset.
It took the least popular player in the history of this organization, would you say? Derek Carr?
Yeah.
I have not seen, I have not seen the venom drawn from this guy. I've never seen anything.
Is it just loud? If there had been social media around when Russell Ertzlaven was playing, I mean, they hated him because they hated the Saints for taking him as a kicker in the first round, and he couldn't make a kick. And he turned out to be just a so-so punter off of the top. If there had been social media around, wouldn't they have hated Ertzlaven too?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the one.
They hated him anyway.
They did. They
hated him anyway.
The jokes were terrible.
It
just wasn't social media around back then. Carr is way more hated than Aaron Brooks. There was a time when Brooks was pretty popular.
Probably some jokes that probably aren't appropriate for this era. But no, there was some pretty brutal jokes on Russell Ertzlaven. I mean, there was.
I know the joke you're talking about.
Yeah, he took some heat. Okay, but no, this guy. Well, we do have social media, and he does play quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay, and so quarterbacks are. My goodness, I mean, they hate him, and he gets the biggest assist on this thing. Oh, no, he doesn't. There ain't nobody giving him an ounce of credit. An ounce of it.
I'm gonna give him an assist. I'm gonna give him a slight assist.
He gets an assist, man.
He does.
Come on.
He gets an assist.
But he ain't getting an ounce of credit by any of those. Let's see. No.
Even the guy that passed the ball to Jordan for the dunk.
No, it's the Pope. It's the Pope. The Pope gets credit for talking there, just making it happen. It just happened.
Does this increase the value of your Carr jersey at all?
I don't know. I've been battling that. I don't know if this it's because I was thinking, being so generous and being such a team player in this move to kind of put the Saints. Do you feel a lot better this Monday than you felt last Monday about the Saints situation?
I feel better this Monday than I did last Monday. Monday after the draft, I felt better than the Monday before that.
And this guy gets none of the credit. None. I mean, they hate this guy so bad. So I'm battling. So I thought, maybe, he'll get a little run here. My jersey might, be worth $3.85, but I think it's still probably toilet paper level value.
If you ever get a fire pit out in the back of,
I know the chimney or a fire pit, just toss it in there. Yeah.
Charlie, I've done some extensive research in the last 5 minutes. There is a team that once had 0 career wins in the NFL. The 2001 Carolina Panthers started Chris Winkie, 4th-round pick.
It would be them.
Chris Winkie. They won their first game that year, lost the rest of the season. They had Matt Lytle and Damian Craig also on their roster.
It just had to be. It had to be the one guy I brought up, right?
Really?
It had to be
Chris Winkie. Oh. No freaking
He's
kidding.
going to use that stat all the way to August. You should have kept quiet, man. Oh, gosh. That's what I get for asking.
Yes, indeed. You got it. There you go. Chris Winkie. How about that? Don't forget our friends at Total Diamond Performance. Yes, indeed. We are right in the middle of tournament season. And so, if you're a little leaguer, your youth bid, your tournament travel ball player wants to try and just wants a little bit more, wants a little bit individual time, wants some lesson times, no problem. You can do individual lessons, group lessons. We have camps as well during the holidays and getting ready for summer. We're going to have all kinds of summer camps as well. So give hitting classes, fielding classes, pitching classes, you name it. So, for instance, the hitting classes are designed to increase rotational power, core strength, while also refining swing mechanics, improving adjustability of the swing, and understanding hitting approach. Contact Nick Schneider at nick@tdpbaseball.com. Nick also does the defensive classes, or you can contact Jacob Doyle for the pitching classes. Go to their website for more information, tdpbaseball.com.
Live at Walkons in Brusly, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee is the original specialty coffee.
Whenever you're ready, Jordan.
It's rolling.
Join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City. The Pelicans lottery results are in. Andy Isco joins us from Las Vegas, and we do first class, second class, no class. Live at Lunch from Doe's Eat Place, Tuesday at 11 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Needs service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow's Seafood and Steak, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salad, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway to Highway 74 in Gonzales.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and OCBrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Walkons in Brusly on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Another poll has LSU at number 1 in the country. So it's Baseball America, D1 Baseball Perfect Game, and now the coaches poll, all with LSU at number 1. Baseball American Perfect Game have Auburn at number 2. D1 Baseball's got them down at 6, but they've got them at number 2.
Where's D1's projections right now?
Well, they didn't put out any today. They do their projections tomorrow, but as far as the tournament, this is just their rankings. But they got Florida State at number 2. Jamie Arnold up at the top of that rotation. They got Texas 3, North Carolina 4, who I believe is in 3rd place in the SEC. No, I'm sorry, they're in 4th place in the ACC.
The kid who is killing Rijo, what's it? I mean, Ruger.
Texas,
Riojas.
Ruger Riojas. Yeah.
He got popped again, man. He just,
I don't know. One good outing on Friday night and 2 bad ones. We'll see about him. No, North Carolina's interesting. They're in 4th place in the ACC. They're ranked 4th in the country or better in all of the polls. Wow. And Clemson, they're in 7th place in the ACC. Thanks to everybody for participating. Thanks to our friends here at Walk-Ons in Brusly. Tomorrow we'll be at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City. For Max, for Jimmy, I'm Charles and Jordan back in the studio. I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for what can only be a jubilant Hunt Palmer. A&M 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch. The Live at Lunch with.
All right, guys. You guys have a good one.
All right. Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate it.